JJ, so had several games without Luka earlier this season. I'm guessing you're not going to ask Austin to average 40 like he did during that stretch. What are the things, if at all, that change or point of emphasis with Luka not on the defensive team?
Yeah, just another game where we're playing a team that's incredibly disruptive on the defensive end, and we've got to do a good job of taking care of the basketball. I mean, the number for our cutoff point for turnovers is actually insane. If we have 19 or less, we're 15-0. If we have 20 or more, we're 5-0. You know, normally that number would be like 14, 15, 16. It's an insanely high number. So, you know, without Luka, the ball handling piece, getting the ball across half court, making good paint decisions, that's for everybody. You know, I don't think Austin's going to play his game. You know, I don't think it puts any more onus on him to go for 50.
With the turnovers, have you found them to be, you know, more against the teams that have better defenses, better athletes, take up more space, or is it sometimes just on you as a team? What's the balance there?
There have been some higher turnover games against the physical, disruptive teams like Oklahoma City or like Phoenix the other night. But they've been an issue all season, and you know it's hard to pinpoint one thing. To be honest with you, it's hard to pinpoint one thing. You know, at one point we've done it now 3 times, but at one point we had to do 3-on-2, 2-on-1 fast break drill, which, you know, I don't think I did in the NBA outside of maybe my first or second year, because we couldn't actually convert on advantage breaks because we were kept throwing lobs to white guys.
One guy was throwing lobs.
Just saying.
Do you guys have a sense for how long Luka's going to be away? I mean, it's a bad strategy. Do you guys have a sense for how long Luka's going to be away from the team?
We hope to get him back soon. Obviously, he's away from the team for personal reasons. Don't have a pinpointed day though.
You said after the loss to Phoenix, like something's got to change. We've got to change as you left in rotations, something. Are you going to be making, obviously without Luka, there's going to be somebody else playing. But have you looked at any other maybe like more like holistic or broader rotation changes?
It's hard to do that when you're not whole, but we'll play a 10-man for sure tonight, potentially even 11-man.
Going back to, you guys just played Phoenix, I think they're number 2 in terms of defensive turnover percentage. Raptors are 5. Are there any similarities in terms of how they create those turnovers and how they're disruptive in that sense?
A little bit different. I mean, the one thing that the Raptors do is they will just leave their man and try to go steal the ball, like indiscriminately. It's one of the unique things about their defense. They just have kind of the freedom at any point in time to go try to steal the ball. And so if you turn your back to them in the middle of the floor, someone's going to come try and steal it. So they generate it that way. Most of the teams like Phoenix that have generated a lot of turnovers against us have been heavy paint swarm teams. There's certainly been some teams where the Portlands, the OKCs that pick up full court and pressure the basketball. Those have led to some high turnover games, but it's a lot of it has been the paint swarm teams, and Toronto's that team again.
We talked about Austin without Luka. This is the first time I think you guys will have LeBron without Luka. There's been a lot of talk about him fitting in alongside what Luka and Austin's done. I guess what you expect from him, and I guess not a new role, but his first time being this since returning to the floor.
Yeah, I expect him to be LeBron. We got to do a good job of putting him in positions to be a good decision maker.
This maybe isn't a one-person job, but who sets the tone for you guys physically? Like, who is the guy that you can count on night in, night out, or who should be that guy that establishes your physicality, your style, your intensity?
It should be the group. To be honest with you, it should be the group, but probably Smart for when he's been in the lineup.
Coach, Lucas is still 26 years old. Do you see any next step in his offensive game? And also related to that, do you think that he can further develop his off-the-ball game to become even more unpredictable?
Yes. I do think he can continue to develop off the ball. I know it's something that Rick did a lot with him early. in his career in Dallas. I mean, less turnovers would be nice. We'll see some improvement there.
Follow up. You have show always like great respect for the European game. Is there any coach in Europe that have you ever learned from, or any coach that you look at?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of coaches like myself that get a weekly, bi-monthly, whatever, a bi-weekly EuroLeague set edit that we all kind of fawn over. It's a different game. There's certain things they do just in terms of continuity that is a little hard to replicate in the NBA, particularly with the lack of practice time that we have over here. But they run great stuff over there, and it's always interesting to see how they create advantages, and a lot of it with misdirection and counters. Spoken with Darko in Chicago at the head coach's retreat, and we're working on setting up a little mini camp for my kids over in Europe this summer. So he's I'm going to talk to him tonight, and he's supposed to help me out with that. Thought Brandon was someone who really loved the game of basketball and really wanted to be great and wanted to be just a student of the game. His approach to his craft is, a 10 out of 10. And, it looks like, at least on film, that, he's kind of in that comfort zone of playing in the mid-range, getting downhill. There was a lot of talk, particularly that first year in New Orleans, of making him a high-volume three-point shooter. But he just has a real comfort level with creating space and using his size and length to shoot over the top. And he's, like Scotty. I mean, you have these guys that are, 6'9", 6'10", the big wing prototype. They can do a bunch of different things. The part that always gets underrated for these guys that don't necessarily average like a 8-9 assists is their playmaking and their ability to pick defenses apart. And it doesn't always lead to an assist, but I think BI's ability to read the game is at a really high level. A little bit different. I mean, the one thing that the Raptors do is they will just leave their man and try to go steal the ball, like, indiscriminately. It's one of the unique things about their defense. They just have kind of the freedom at any point in time to go try to steal the ball. And so if you turn your back to them in the middle of the floor, someone's going to come try and steal it. So they generate it that way. Most of the teams like Phoenix that have generated a lot of turnovers against us have been heavy paint swarm teams. There's certainly been some teams where the Portlands, the OKCs that pick up full court and pressure the basketball. Those have led to some high turnover games, but it's a lot of it has been the paint swarm teams, and Toronto's that team again.